Good afternoon. Welcome to Local Umbrella Live. I'm Brad Weber with Local Umbrella Media, and we're here in beautiful IQ Podcast Studios in Coronado, as always. And we have a very special guest today, Ms. Liz Faraimo with the Care Excellence team. Welcome, Liz. Thanks for being here today.
Oh, thank you so much, Brad. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm looking forward to talking. The last show we did, we were talking to Serving Seniors, and I don't know how familiar you are with them, but they're quite an organization. I'm a big fan of what they do, and seniors are such a. I'm there for one thing, and it's such a growing market and underserved market, and there's so many issues that go around that. So that's why I wanted to have you on today too, and talk about what you do for seniors and how you do it, and what makes you unique and special. And I'm hoping you can elaborate on that. But tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this, and kind of first of all what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I am the founder and CEO of Care Excellence Team, and we specialize in senior living solutions, helping families who are in need of making a transition into a memory care or an assisted living community for their loved one. And so we're the experts that can come in and really help hold their hand and navigate them through that process. It's a very overwhelming time. Most of the time, people are making quick decisions, life-changing decisions on behalf of their loved one, typically their parent, with very limited time, resources, and really just knowing what to do and how to do that. And so they can lean into Care Excellence Team. We help them understand, really where they are right now, what their goals are, budget, and really hold their hand through that entire transition process so that they can feel help eliminate the level of stress that they're experiencing and just feel really confident that they've got experts in the industry that can help them through that process.
Yeah, well, it's very, very needed. I've been there myself with my dad. I mean, I was in, I think, the exact situation where he something happened. He got put in the hospital, and we found
Yeah.
out that he wasn't going home. And right away, you start talking to people, and it's overwhelming, and you're already stressed out and emotional, and you don't want to hear that kind of news. But the news is, it's the facts, and you have to live with it. So having someone like you there to we didn't really have that. We had someone at the hospital sort of helping, but it wasn't, honestly, I didn't think it was as helpful as I wanted it to be at the time. So I can absolutely see from personal experience why your type of service is needed. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll share a little bit about my background and how I arrived here with Care Excellence Team. Similar situation as you said. You got a call. I got a call from a hospital over 12 years ago. I was 27 at the time, and my father was in the hospital, no longer able to live on his own, and unfortunately, a lot of his health issues started at a very young age for him. And so overnight, right, I had to make big decisions for him, move him across state line here to San Diego. And that really started my journey as a caregiver for my father. And not only was I a caregiver during that time, I was just starting my own family. I had two young children. I had a career, all the normal things that we're really working towards. And then now having to step in and care and make a lot of decisions on behalf of my father. And so over the course of those many years, I was really working parallel with my own personal life and really trying to figure out a lot of different things for my dad. And I really was that typical family that I work with today. We tried a lot of different things, brought him home, moved him into a lot of different places. We just didn't really know what we were doing at the time. And we really just tried to make the best decisions with the information we had. And so over the course of my journey as a caregiver with him, and really my desire to wanting to get in business for myself, make a difference, make an impact, help other people, I decided to start Care Excellence Team in 2018. And so that really was what propelled me into bringing this business to life. And it's been such an amazing journey over the last 3 years.
Well, experience is the best teacher, and you've as you just explained, you've had the experience. You know exactly what people go through and how to solve some of those problems. So that's why you're so good at what you do, I'm sure. So
Oh, thank you.
where are you based out of?
So we're based out of Oceanside, and we work throughout the entire San Diego County. We just actually expanded into Temecula area, and also Orange County. And so we really our goal and our mission is really to help expand our footprint so that we can help more families. And typically, what's happening and what we're seeing is that adult children are getting those phone calls, right? And their parent either lives somewhere else or maybe even lives within the county but just maybe south of Oceanside or north, whatever that looks like. And their goal and their intention really is to try to get their parent closer to them. And so we really want to make sure that we have enough resources and bandwidth to be able to support them and give them the best options available based on their goals and uh, goals and the things that they want to do as a family.
Great. And as far as cost and things like that for a family in that situation, do they, if you can elaborate, do they pay you or do you charge a fee to do all this stuff, or how's it all work?
Right. So, we're actually a no cost service to the family. We are compensated on a referral fee through the different communities that we're contracted with. And it's a really amazing experience for a family because if people may not know, but the cost of assisted living or memory care is quite expensive today, especially in the county that we live in.
Mhm.
And so families can really focus on not only being the support and caregiver for their loved one through this transition, but to also have an expert behind them and not have to worry about incurring the cost of moving, incurring the cost of placing them into a community and coming up with all of the money that is required, but that they can still have us alongside them the whole way and not have to worry about paying us for our time. And so that's really the beauty of our service and being able to do a no cost service to families.
Okay. So do you work with the hospital staff then, or how do people, if I'm in that situation, how do I find out about Care Excellence?
Yeah, so typically it was with the case managers through the hospital. We get referrals through a variety of different places throughout the county, surprisingly, because everyone knows someone who's going through
Mhm.
something with an aging parent today, right? And so a lot of our referral partners are either a skilled nursing rehab facility, as well as people are getting discharged and either if they can't go home, where are they going to go? And so, they can refer them out to us as well so we can help them through that process. And we do have a lot of different community partners that support that demographic, whether it's people from the legal realm or real estate because they need to sell a home. We partner with a lot of those different groups because it really does take a village, right?
Yep.
It's not just one person to really make this life changing decision happen for a family and for
Right.
adult children. It's really a variety of different people and experts that come together.
Yeah, you don't realize how many moving parts there are until you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to move them all, all at the
Right.
same time. So I can
And very
imagine.
little, in a very short amount of time as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I was lucky. I had siblings out in, I'm from Colorado, and they were kind of managing that day to day stuff. But I can't imagine if I didn't have that
Wow.
family resource there, if that would have happened to my dad and I was here, and it just would have been, I can't even imagine. I would absolutely needed someone like you. So,
Oh, thank
I,
you.
I'm sure you have some big fans and you're solving lots of problems. So, so this is your own business. This isn't a franchise or a license of a national company or anything. You started this yourself and you created it the way you wanted it to be created and personalized it, and you put the Liz magic on it.
Yes, this is my own. I bootstrapped it from the ground up. And, our core values are compassion, respect, and honesty.
Mhm.
And just as an adult child that has gone through it and lived it, it was really important to me. I think we have a lot of support for our seniors and it's super, super important. But I think sometimes we tend to forget about the people who are really having to advocate, which is the adult children, right? And so just coming from that experience and really helping them make these tough decisions because it's so emotional, right? It's one of the hardest decisions that adult children will have to make over and over again. And we really want to make sure that we are compassionate and that we really respect whatever decision they make. Sometimes people may not necessarily want to move their loved one, but they want to be the caregiver. Great. We will get them the best resources that we vetted to really help support them to keep their loved one home,
Right.
especially in this last year with the pandemic. A lot of people wanted to try to keep their loved one home.
Yeah.
Um, and really just being completely honest and transparent with them. I think that's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is that we want to make sure that people know and feel that they can trust us, that we will be completely honest and transparent with what the best options would be based on our experience and based on their goals as a family.
Yeah. Well, it's such a big decision. I mean, you don't want to make a mistake in that realm because it's a big mistake. So having someone that you trust is, that's everything. So yeah.
Yes, no, thank you. And to your point really quickly, I'll touch on this really quick, Brad, is that I always share and tell adult children to really go into this experience open, right? There's really no perfect scenario, perfect situation to fit what may happen in the future, right?
Mhm.
And as we know, especially with parents who may have a memory diagnosis of Alzheimer's or dementia, it's such an unpredictable a disease. And when we make decisions today, we're really making them based on the facts of what we have in front of us today.
Right.
And, a lot of times it's hard because there's guilt and not, trying to make no mistakes, but just knowing that if you go open and you continue to advocate and you just continue to be part of the solution and conversation with the different parties involved in caring for your loved one, that you may have to move again down the road, you may have to make some other changes, and that's just part of the course and the journey of our aging parents, unfortunately. So I'm just wanted to touch on that really quick because I
Yeah,
think
because it's people don't stay the same. They may go in for one reason,
right.
and especially at that age, 6 months later, they may have a whole new set of problems that create new adjustments. So having someone to hold your hand through it that you trust and's been there and has been through that many times before, I can't imagine how valuable that is. So, I'm I'm a big fan of what you do, and like I said, I'm getting there myself pretty fast, unfortunately,
No,
but
you've
since
got a
I've lived through
long
it,
time before, Brad.
I
You're in
hope
your prime.
I hope so. But no, between you and groups like Serving Seniors, and it's such an expanding population, and uh, um,
Yeah.
the stats she gave us in my previous interview, how many seniors are coming in, over 65, how many people every day are joining that group, and that just means there's more issues to deal with, more problems to solve, and more
Yeah.
adult children to aid and assist and hold their hand and take them through this process. So, yeah, thanks for what you do.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
So
much,
what's the
Brad.
future hold? What's your plan for I wanted to ask you about the pandemic too, because, I know it's been a changing thing, and hopefully it's getting a little bit better now. It's concerning again now, but it's certainly better than it was before, I think, from what I hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we have a lot more tools and answers to really kind of have how to navigate
Right.
this right now, right? So I don't think we'll be impacted as much in this industry as it was before.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the pandemic for our industry was hit very hard. A lot of people couldn't move their loved one because either they didn't want to, and uncertainty, a lot of uncertainty, be able to see them.
Mhm.
And then there was a lot of places that couldn't take anyone in because they wanted to make sure there wasn't the risk of COVID coming in and spreading to their residents. So there's a lot of different factors, and so our business was impacted quite a bit. And we actually I'm still very involved with my father's care. So I actually had a lot of different things that happened for my father in the last year that
Mhm.
we had to make some changes and decisions on. So but things are changing now. A lot of places have opened up. We've got a lot of different really good solutions in place as we transition seniors into a community or even a small boarding care home, that can really help support the family and support them so that they're they're safe and they're well cared for.
Great. Is part of what you do the financial part of it too? When I know you don't charge a fee, but when there are costs involved, do you help navigate the cost part of it also? Is that part of what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for asking me that. Yeah, so we really one of the things that we do as part of our process, we do an initial assessment for with the family, and we really want to understand the full picture, right? Not only what their care is, but what is the budget? How much money are we looking to put towards this in the next several years, right? And so we really like to do some future planning financially with them as they make those decisions. And then we really help them negotiate through that process with different places that they would be choosing, what their options are, and really making sure that they're well informed and they're well represented through the process as well.
Great. Well, thanks so much. Is there share how people get a hold of you? What would you like people to can they learn more about you personally and what you do and what sets you apart? And
Yeah. Sure, absolutely. So they can find us at www.cetsd.com. We're also on Facebook and LinkedIn, Care Excellence Team.
Okay.
And they can reach out to us that way, and we'd be happy to support them. And, we work with families who are just starting this process, but we also work with families who've been on the journey already
Okay.
and may not have had someone in their corner helping them navigate. And maybe they, change of situation, condition, whatever that might look like, they still can reach out to us and we can help them through their next steps in their journey as they care for their aging parent.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, Liz Faraimo, thanks so much for being with us today. Care Excellence team based in Oceanside, but all over San Diego and even in Temecula, right? So say the
Yes, yes,
website one
and
more
Orange
time.
County, and
And
Orange
Orange
County.
County. I'm
So,
sorry. Bigger than
and
I
we are
thought you were.
continuing to look out, to work on expanding our footprint so that we can just continue to help people nationally. If they have loved ones that are living in another state and they want to move them, we absolutely even have a resource of different referral agents that may not necessarily be here, but maybe somewhere else that we can get them connected with too. So, never
Great.
hesitate to reach out if we can't directly solve it for you. We absolutely will get you in the right hands to help you.
Well, great. It was great to have you here. Full disclosure, I only met you very recently through the North County Business Chamber. We actually were on a hike together through the healthcare thing, and I started talking to you, and you told me about what you did, and I was just became a big fan because I could tell the level of care and concern and trust you had inside of you, and it just touched me, and I thought, I want to do what I can to help you, to
I
help
really
others.
appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much, Brad. And I felt that connection with you as well. Just overall, a genuine good person and just really authentic. And I really am so grateful we were on that hike together. And
Yeah.
I just feel like just the relationship that we've developed over a short period of time, I'm really grateful that we have continued to stay connected. And however I can help and continue to help Local Umbrella, I'm here.
Oh, thanks. And it was a great hike too. That was a nice day.
It
Took me to a
was,
hike
it very
somewhere
was.
else, so double good news. Anyway, Liz Faraimo, thanks so much for being with us. That's our show today. I want to thank our sponsors, Attorney King, of course. We're in the Attorney King studios here at IQ Podcast Studios. Saquon Casino, IB Fitness, Nikki Rotten's downtown. Sarah, don't let me forget somebody.
Indian Motorcycle.
Indian Motorcycles. And that's our show. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Liz Faraimo, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.